Australia has been on fire for months with no end in sight. 28 lives have been lost, plus a conservative estimate of over 1 billion animals have been killed, as well as 240 billion insects. A lot of Australians have been looking for something or someone to blame, but not everyone here agrees on what that is. So I went out and asked random Australians if they think global warming has played a part. Are you Australian?
Yes.
And do you think that the bushfires here in Australia are linked to climate change?
Definitely. You can see it getting worse and worse every year, and without the government taking action, it's just going to continue to get worse. So definitely it's linked.
I think there's a link, yes, but I don't think it's the whole picture. It's a broad range of things going on.
I wouldn't say that there isn't, but personally I haven't researched it enough that I would say whether or not it is, although it is getting hotter each year, so.
Absolutely. It's absolutely a direct consequence of the way humans treat animals and the land here.
Yeah, definitely. I would say it's linked to climate change.
Yeah, definitely 100% linked to climate change.
Yes, definitely. If you actually have a look at the history of bushfires and the climate since 1941 or something like that till now, there's a lot of different climates that we have actually gone through. But around this area, we do actually go through with bushfire as well, but this time is actually more than usual. And I believe it's definitely got to do with something to do with the climate change for sure.
Personally, for me, I don't really have a strong opinion of it. I know I was really anti the whole climate change thing, but now it's getting so hot and I see these bushfires, and it's definitely something that's making me think I don't know if it's real or not, but at least we should sort of try to, cut down our carbon emissions if it's not too hard, you know what I mean?
What do you think about Australia's government's kind of reaction and response to the whole problem?
Well, look, I think as far as I know, they acted late. The army could have actually come in and helped us out a lot before than what they actually did now. Scott Morrison shouldn't have actually gone on his holidays compared to all the information he actually had in regards to the bushfires. And if we had started back burning prior to what we actually did, we would probably be in a lot better position than we are currently right now.
Before the actual fire started, we could have had a better plan involved for it, and we could have been taking action before this. But since that's happened, maybe not going on a holiday overseas in the middle from our Prime Minister would have been a good start. Yeah, I guess just talking, not saying let's not talk about climate change. It's not the right time. It's obviously the right time. We're seeing it happen in front of us. So do it now.
Maybe not go on holiday when, our country's kind of burning down.
The fact that he was in Hawaii, I don't know what people expect. If he was here, he's not gonna go and put the bushfires out himself. I think if you wanna criticize his government's policy, I think that's a fair point. But if you're gonna do these little he wasn't in Australia, at the end of the day, whether he was or he isn't going to really make a big difference. I think you've got to look at what the government's actually doing.
I think it's been inadequate. I think we could always do more.
Yeah, it's been pretty poor that we still have a government that refuses to acknowledge climate change and refuses to put more, research or funding into alternative energy sources that would help reduce our carbon emissions.
Pretty terrible, pretty much a massive cop-out. Scott Morrison is embarrassing Australia, and I'm pretty embarrassed right now to call him my Prime Minister.
What do you think they could have done better? If you were Prime Minister right now, what's the first thing you would do?
I wouldn't have cut RFS funding against multiple other people's advice. At the start of 2019, the Fire Commissioner asked for more money for the upcoming bushfire season, and I believe it was pretty much all rejected, and further funding was cut. And also, just any policy on climate change would be great.
First thing I'd do is probably talk to some scientists that actually know what they're talking about and see what we need to do to fix this problem.
Definitely would look at funding more research into how we can start using more green energy within Australia and how that would positively affect work, job creation and that sort of stuff. And then also, I guess, would stop denying that climate change is a big factor, because there's a lot of solid evidence to say that it is a real thing, and we can't deny it anymore.
Were you surprised by the donations that we've received from all around the world?
Surprised, kind of, about how much, but that we were getting donations, not really, because it is an emergency at the moment. What's happening is an emergency, so I did kind of expect donations.
No, I think that's exactly what.
It's over $200 million.
That's crazy. No, I'm not surprised.
Normally when there's, things that are going on in Australia, most of my overseas friends don't really know about it, but like everyone's coming to me going, hey, what's going on with these fires? I've heard they're really bad, and like people are actually taking notice. It seems that a lot of other countries seem to care a lot more than our elected officials. So it's really good to see a lot of the communities across the whole world really caring about this issue.
It's very heartwarming. I think I'm happy that people are here to help us, but it also makes me very sad that our own country can't really help us at this point in time.
Yeah, well, that's actually pretty good. But I believe that it could have been done even better, because as you can remember, when Notre Dame actually burned down, there was a response to God knows how many millions actually came through in a very short time, and that was just a building, important building. However, here we're talking about lives of people.
Super appreciative that money has been raised, but it's pretty poor that we couldn't raise more money sooner. These fires have been going on for months, and it took 3 days for the Notre Dame to get €1 billion. So I think the fact that our media and our government has been playing down quite the extent of the fires and not really making it a national emergency, there's a lot of nations that could help that haven't been helping because they just don't know the truest thing, like the true size of what's happening in Australia.
Do you have a message for anyone watching this video that maybe donated or helped out in some way?
Thank you so much for donating. Thank you very much for supporting. It's really great that everyone is coming together and helping to contribute. $200 million is insane. So, obviously a lot of people have helped. A lot of people are continuing to help. So thank you.
Just thank you. Thank you for coming to our help. Thank you for donating money that will help people who have lost everything kind of get back on their feet, and help those brave firefighters who have been on the front lines for 15-hour days, give them some relief from the pain that they've had.
To see those people, my dad was a firefighter, a volunteer firefighter, to see what the hearts and the help that, it's pretty amazing, really, yeah.
It's definitely something that we are all thankful for.